Ford amazed us when they first introduced the North American version of the Ford Ranger, and this model immediately became a real hit. Everyone was waiting to see a proper Ford Ranger tailored specifically for the US market, and Ford really delivered. 2025 will be the second production year for this new model, and this model will bring some upgrades over the previous model year. So stay with us while we learn how the all-new 2025 Ford Ranger turns heads in the automotive world. Platform and configurations. Let's start with the basics when it comes to the Ford Ranger and learn more about the platform and available configurations for the 2025 model year. What will this new model bring to the table? Well, this new model year is expected to bring a hybrid option. Ford last year introduced the new chassis for the Ford Ranger, which was dubbed the T6.2. But what Ford didn't expect was the hybridization. Nowadays, car makers are starting to offer a hybrid model. For example, Toyota with the all-new Toyota Tacoma that was introduced last year. So in order not to lose sales, for the 2025 model year, Ford is expected to update the platform for this new hybrid powertrain. This new model will be a plug-in hybrid, so there will be a need for more room for a larger battery. That's why upgrades should come in order to make the platform able to accept these new technologies. When it comes to the configurations, there will be the same option, which is a crew cab with a 5-foot bed. This will disappoint many out there, but this layout is the most popular. In order for Ford to cut the production costs, it'll only keep the crew cab and the 5-foot bed. Engine options. Now let's take a look at the engine options and learn more about whether or not we're going to have some novelties in this area. The 2024 model year came with 3 different engines. These are all turbocharged EcoBoost engines. The smallest is a 2.3-liter inline-4. Although small in displacement, this is one peppy engine that produces up to 270 HP and 310 pound-feet of torque in the Ford Ranger. And since it is the smallest, this is the standard engine that you can get with the Ranger, meaning that you will not pay extra in order to buy a Ranger with the 2.3-liter. The optional engine in the Ford Ranger is the 2.7-liter. This engine will cost you more, but it is definitely worth it. It creates up to 315 horsepower and 400 pound-feet of torque. This is a massive performance that will be extremely beneficial, especially for towing. The most powerful engine in the lineup was the 3.0-liter V6 EcoBoost. This engine is only available in the Ford Ranger Raptor. In the Raptor, the 3.0-liter makes 392 HP and 430 pound-feet of torque. For the 2025 model year, these engines are expected to stay, since there's not anything else Ford can offer, unless Ford brings back the diesel. The 3.0-liter V6 Power Stroke was absent for a very long time, and there's a very big demand for such an engine. The fan base is constantly asking for Ford to bring this legendary powertrain. Repeatedly, Ford will bring this engine to the US market as well. This will not be anything complex since this engine is available in Europe with the Ford Ranger. This engine is expected to produce 250 HP and a massive 440 pound-feet of torque, which is plenty for this application. And most importantly, this engine will make the Ford Ranger a lot more efficient compared to the gas EcoBoost engines. Plug-in hybrid model. One of the biggest news that we can share with you today is the introduction of an all-new hybrid model with the Ford Ranger. One of the greatest competitors of the Ford Ranger, the Toyota Tacoma, was introduced with a hybrid setup. The Tacoma implements a mild hybrid. This is a hybrid system that implements a small battery and a small electric motor. What Ford is planning to do is introduce a plug-in hybrid version of the Ranger. A plug-in hybrid model differentiates a lot from a standard mild hybrid. With a plug-in hybrid model, you'll have a large battery pack and a more powerful electric motor that will be combined with a 2.3-liter EcoBoost engine, already available with the Ranger. So this plug-in hybrid system will give the 2.3-liter a very good kick and will make it produce a lot more power. Power numbers are still unknown, but this model is expected to make about 300 HP and about 360 pound-feet of torque. However, the biggest advantage of this model will be the EV autonomy. This hybrid model will have an excellent autonomy of 28 miles. This will make the Ford Ranger a perfect option for those who drive short distances and want to have a silent commuter around town. Towing and payload capacity. When it comes to choosing your future truck, towing and payload performance plays a very vital part. A truck has to deliver an excellent performance in order to be considered a good purchase. So, how does this truck perform in this area? Well, the Ford Ranger is a very good performer. This model has a towing capacity of 7,500 pounds and can take a payload of 1,805 pounds. One big pro for the Ranger is that this towing capacity is present across the whole range of models. These numbers make the current Ranger one of the best. The two most capable trucks in this segment are the Chevy Colorado and the Jeep Gladiator, which can tow up to 7,700 pounds. Since the Ford Ranger will implement a plug-in hybrid version, it'll be able to tow a bit more. So this model is expected to perform equally well as the Colorado and Gladiator, which have 7,700 pounds of towing capacity. Overall, when it comes to truck duties, the 2025 Ford Ranger will not disappoint. This model will bring the required performance. Another pro with the hybrid model will be the ability to use the battery of this system as an external power outlet. So whenever you're working, you'll be able to connect to all of your electrical tooling to the truck and use it as a battery source. Fuel economy. Fuel economy is another area expected to improve slightly for the 2025 model year because of the introduction of the plug-in hybrid model. Currently, there are 3 engines available. The smallest is the 2.3-liter inline-4. This engine has the best fuel economy, and this truck easily averages about 22 mpg combined. Then you have the 2.7-liter EcoBoost engine. This engine, since it's making more power, it's slightly worse in terms of fuel economy. The 2.7-liter will give you an average fuel economy of 20 mpg combined. While the worst performer is the Raptor with its 3.0-liter EcoBoost, this model is averaging about 17 mpg combined, which is pretty poor. So, what is expected to change for the 2025 model year? Well, with the introduction of the plug-in hybrid model, the 2.3-liter will become more efficient. This engine with the hybrid powertrain will make more power and will use less fuel. So the hybrid model will have a combined fuel economy of 28 mpg overall. And another big pro of the new hybrid model will be the EV autonomy. This model will be able to get up to 28 miles only in electric mode. This is excellent news for those who want to drive in silence and save the planet at the same time. Exterior and interior styling. One area that brought major changes for the 2024 model year was the exterior and interior styling of the Ford Ranger. This was the model year when this truck was properly Americanized. So the truck got a much bolder front end that implements more aggressive styling and basically conveys the same design language as most American trucks. The interior of the model was also updated with a new dash and a large portrait screen in the center that's extremely crisp and responsive. So, what can we expect for the 2025 model year? Well, we can expect a lot to change in this area because this is a fairly new model. Only minor design touches will be applied around the whole truck. A major redesign can be expected in the upcoming model years as this truck will start to show its age. The trim levels of the Ford Ranger are expected to stay pretty much the same for the 2025 model year as well. These trim levels include the XL, XLT, Lariat, and Raptor. But who knows, maybe Ford will introduce a new trim level. They've done this many times before, and this trim can be expected specifically for the plug-in hybrid model. But time will tell what will happen. We'll be more than happy to inform you about the newest developments with this model. Pricing and release date. When it comes to the pricing of this new truck, we can expect that the model will become a bit cheaper considering the fact that inflation is getting low. So a nice discount of a few $100 over the current model is expected for the 2025 model year. This new truck is expected to start at $32,000, which overall is a pretty nice deal considering what you get. The release date is due this summer and the introduction to the market is expected to be at the end of 2024.